trick of the night, sorry. And now, here's our very hip Vic.
Okay, whose bright idea was it to get my socially anxious ass out here? Oh, wait a minute, it was me. Good thing I brought my security blanket. I'm good with being the black sheep of the family, although sometimes I think of myself as more the psychedelic sheep. You know, I believe some of us 60s hippies were experimenting with drugs to find the right medication. Wow. As a kid, I incessantly rocked my leg back and forth. My mom kept telling me I was rocking the devil. Turned out she was right. Spent my teens rocking out to bands like Black Sabbath and Alice Cooper. If I had my own rock band, I'd call it something like Concrete Jelly, Mystical Poultry, or maybe even Intentional Wedgie. I think 60s mind-altering drugs affected me in a rather fun way. Smoke shops, nicotine, coffee houses, caffeine, liquor stores, alcohol are everywhere, yet most people still have an issue with anyone taking medication. Stay tuned, folks, for pot shops sprouting up in an area near you real soon. My home is so mean. Much of the time the lights are on, but no one's home. I've become quite comfortable with bats living in my belfry. When friends come to visit, I tell them to be careful. My furniture has a few screws loose, and some of the doors have become unhinged. I love to go out for a drive. Never get very far, though, because my car is usually running on empty, and often the engine's not firing on all cylinders. I also love to go out to lunch at a little cafe called Just Round the Bend. They serve a lovely butter slipped offer noodle, and for dessert, a most excellent nutty as a fruitcake. The owner said she named both dishes after me. I'm so honored. Hey, wait a minute. Separation anxiety leaves me with the sensation of floating across the floor like a ghostly entity. I try to convince myself that I'm secretly practicing for a part in a Wes Craven horror movie. I have no problem looking at my own shit. Sometimes, though, if it's too threatening, I scream, flush, and hightail it out of there. I love it when people interject by saying, "Don't mean to disturb you." Little do they know I don't have that far to go. I told a friend of mine that his very hyper cat just needed to find the right medication. Looking straight ahead, he calmly raised his gin and tonic to his mouth, took a sip and said, "In this house, we do not medicate." I suffer from CRF, constantly rearranging furniture. My son complains when he'd see the living room changed around once again. I told him, if he liked, I could always become a drug addict. If he liked, I could always become a drug addict or an alcoholic instead. One day, my son asked me what he would inherit when I'm gone. I said, lots of fabric and craft supplies. Oh, and a mountain of empty medication bottles. My ex liked to point out that I was always seeing the world as cup half empty. I would grin and say, how do you know it's not the better half? I'm actually okay with being a positively mangled tranquility. Far more interesting than saying I have clinical depression, PTSD, and anxiety. Melancholia is my name. Not get to know me, what a shame. You miss abject bleakness that is soulful, darkest dreariness that is sublime, bluest funks that are delightfully